Hello, Governor.
Hey, what's going down with you, man?
Hey, man. What's going
Hey,
on?
hey, man, it's Friday. You see the happy Friday smile on my face.
That's right. That's right. Man, and this is going to be a good Friday, man, because we got a good topic to talk about today. Look at me adjusting the camera. Man, it's always something.
Yes, brother. Yes, I feel you.
It's always something.
Hey,
Man,
man,
how
that's the
you
part
doing
of
on
being a
it? You know what I'm
content
saying?
creator. You
First
know
of
what I'm
all,
saying, man?
happy Friday. Happy
Yes,
Friday,
happy
sir.
Friday to you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, brother.
You know what? And I can't believe we about to do this online, but something we haven't done in a while. 1 to 10. Mind, body, and soul. How you doing?
Oh, I love these. I love these. I like these, man. Because it gives you the opportunity to check in on your people, man. Yo, my mind's a good. We don't do sevens, so my mind's an 8. My body's actually in a 6, heading to an 8. and my spirit's on 11, man. I feel my spirit feels good, man. How about you, brother?
That's good. Let's see. I'm gonna go backwards. Let's see. My spirit's on a 9.
Okay.
I'm in a good place. I'm good.
Okay.
My body's at about a 4. Man,
Okay.
I feel every bit my age is fine. I don't know if I don't know. The crazy thing is, I feel like I haven't gotten enough sleep, but I've slept like crazy this week. I don't know what it is, and wake up hurting and stuff like this. This getting vintage is not all it is cracked up to be. Well, it sucks.
Man. Woo. As I sit here and drink my water, that I'm supposed to drink like 5 of these a day because of what you just talking about.
Yeah, and then I would say, man, my mind is probably at a high 6.
Okay.
I'm getting there, man. I just always, just dealing with stress, depression stays on my ass on a daily. My health hasn't been too great. Just dealing with these ulcers and just stress, just stress. So and being broke. Hello, welcome to being black in America.
Brother. The grind never stops. What do you do? All you can do is hope you get another go at it, man. I'm happy to know that I get another go at it with you, man. It's one thing to be in a foxhole, but it's a different thing to be in a foxhole with your battle buddy.
You're right about that, and you cannot go to war with everybody. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's very true.
The fun thing about this is as we do our reactions together, man, and we have a great time talking about the stuff that we do, because the beauty of doing reactions is there's so much content out here. We get to pick and choose the content that we want to do, and usually we pick stuff that we enjoy. So it's not hard. It's not like being a film critic and the company, they just send you out to review movies. You're like, God, that movie was terrible. Why? I don't even want to do that. We get to do stuff that we like. We do reactions, and you have a multitude of partners you do reactions with. I do the deep dive media therapies on my own, reacting, talking about a lot of stuff we reacted to. But when we get together on these Fridays and do these live deep dives, this is something else altogether, man. It's just fun. So, and then we get to bring in a few of our other people from the wonderful Discord. Shameless plug, if you have not been in the Discord, I don't know what to tell you, because we keep telling you and you keep not getting in there. So something's gonna have to give at this point. It's in my descriptions, all my descriptions, and all the Centel's descriptions. The Discord is free 99. It is a great community of great people. And if you just so happen to be in Centel's Patreon, there's a special section of the Discord that you can go in to watch us do reactions live. And that's always great fun. Yeah. So with that being said, let's talk about the topic at hand. I actually, I talked to you a little bit earlier just to kind of give you a heads up, make sure you were prepared. And then I actually sat and wrote down, I typed out my list.
Okay.
Damn. It's extensive.
Yeah.
So our topic today, and this it was sparked because we just finished Invincible on Amazon Prime, Invincible, season 3 of Invincible. And the last few episodes, I mean, even though the entire season was fire, the last few episodes is like, there's like, oh, you thought that episode was good. Hold my beer, you know, and they took it up. And by the time we got to episode 8, and if you haven't had a chance, go in and watch the reaction. My media therapy deep dive will be coming later this week. I'm a little bit behind on those because I got to take some time to put those together. Whoa. I think our jaw was on the floor the whole time. The whole time I was like,
it was.
That was a crazy hour of TV.
When was the moment? Was there a moment when you were watching it and you're like, this might be a GOAT? This might be a GOAT episode. Like, I'm always curious about those moments. It's like, when does it happen when you're like, either there's a moment in an episode where the series is GOATed, or there's a moment in the episode where just that episode is kind of GOATed. Like, are you ever aware of it when it's happening, or does it have to be finished for you to be like?
That's actually an excellent question, and that's actually an excellent segue too, because it's going to speak to something else that we just recently watched. I don't know. I've been pretty much on board with Invincible the entire time. Invincible hasn't let me down. It has stayed, foot on the gas, barely hitting the brakes. Yeah. However, season 3 was like, okay, we went from just speeding to, is this an F1 car? My God, like it is on a whole different level. There were several scenes in episode 8 that I could absolutely say that. Conquest, the villain in only episode 8, he showed up right at the end of episode 7, and he was a villain for episode 8. He, in one episode, less than a full episode, he became one of the greatest villains ever. And that is saying something. Like, I didn't need a whole season. I didn't need a whole season. I didn't need to have seen him before and have some, backstory. And no, he showed up and did enough and said enough in one episode. I was like, that dude might be one of the greatest villains ever in media. And he even did the obligatory, villain's monologue. Yeah. It wasn't long, but it reached the upper pantheon of villain monologues.
Yes, everything you just said. Yo, Sean almost said it right there. He's like, yo, yeah. I'm so lonely. It's the way he said it too.
No, but hold on. The way he said it though, and if you saw our reaction, both me and you both had to look like, oh, this is getting ready to turn into a Diddy story. This is getting ready to be Oz or something. Like, we was like, oh, not like this. Not like this. Like, I was like, oh.
Yo, I think everybody was uncomfortable.
If Conquest take you like that, you fine, you handsome, and I seen you, and I want you, like, you gonna have to change your name. Your name cannot be Invincible no more. Like, another grown man take you. Like,
Yeah, I think one of my favorite comic specials, man. There's one where Jamie Foxx and he talks about Mike Tyson, and he said when Mike Tyson's in the room, it feels like there's a loose pit bull in the room, and like whose pit bull is this? Ain't nobody see this.
Don't nobody gonna claim this pit bull.
And Conquest came into the scene, and it's like, whose pit bull is this? Marcus looking around like, who let the door open? Like, somebody gotta come get this pit bull, because it's just chaos, man. Like, you don't want to be the one to be like, to try and take the dog out, but somebody got to.
Here's the beauty of that scene as well too, and shout out to Amazon Prime, to Robert Kirkman, whoever did the casting. It also gave us one of the greatest villain hero, like matchups. Again. Did you hear me? I said again. Because for those of you that don't know, Invincible is voiced by Stephen Yeun, who you may know as Glenn from The Walking Dead. And in was it season 3, whatever it was, season 4, season 3, the scene happened that those of you who read the comic book know, you knew it was coming. It didn't come the way we thought it was going to come, but it came. and it was so visceral on TV, seeing it in celluloid. It was so visceral that many people quit The Walking Dead from that damn scene. That happened and people quit the show. They said, oh, hell no. But it happened by Negan, Jeffrey D. Morgan, who also voiced Conquest in Invincible. Like that is Kismet. Like that is perfection.
We have come full circle.
Yes, we came full circle.
Yes.
And still, Negan's like, yeah. So you thought you was gonna get away with them zombies, huh? Still got something for you. I done flew across the universe to beat your ass again.
Beat your ass. And I left Lucille at home. It's just these fists. You just gonna get these fists. Yo, here's the thing, and if y'all know, and y'all know me, I love Dragon Ball. Love it. Some of the best, to me, changed fighting styles in animation, just fighting in general in television in the 90s. Never seen anything like it before. It to the point where it's almost like the standard to get these kind of fight styles or whatever. But the one thing about DBZ fights that can get a little tiresome is they have like a lot of like these energy blasts, right? They'll shoot rays out of their hand and Kamehamehas and this, that, and the third. But Invincible ain't no lasers. It's just beats. It's just these
beats. Yes.
It's just
you gonna come get these hands.
And it's just beautiful. It's hard to look at because of how like what, and anybody can get it. That's
gory.
The other thing.
Yeah, just
kids, old men, women, children, animals, dog. Anybody can catch these beats, and that is what Conquest gave. This dude crushed a child's face. Like, it's one of the nastiest 1-2 combos I've seen in a second there, where he try to run at him and Conquest bashed him down to the ground. He bounces back up. He grabs him and busts all his chiclets out. It's like, that is a child. What are you doing, man? Like, it's like, you are a villain of villains. A young lady, and obviously we're not advocating violence. This is a television show, but there was no quarter. Like, and he told her, he was like, if you come over here, it's gonna get ugly. And it got super ugly.
Behind giving Oliver the 1-2 combo, he gave him the 2-piece. He backhanded Mark Invincible so damn hard. I almost thought he was gonna go over, where's my money? You know what I'm saying? Like he hit him like a pimp. Like, he owed him some money.
Bad.
Mark had to get back out on stroll.
The innocence.
And then what he did to Eve.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, if you come in here, just make sure you got your dukes. And I got to give it to Eve. Here's the thing. Eve put in work, solid work. I think pound for pound, we've had this conversation. I think pound for pound, she's probably one of the strongest people in the Invincible verse, potentially. And she gave all she possibly could. But in the end,
it wasn't enough.
I'm the one who knocks. And chiclets and blood everywhere.
Imagine, can you? And I don't know, maybe some people can, but I can't remember in certain, I don't watch horror, so I'm sure it's probably there in horror. But for certain TV shows to have a villain that says, you know what, hold on, I'm dealing with you, but hold on, I'm getting ready to go and with my bare hands pull your brother apart like a quesadilla. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he was pulling him apart. For him to give a 2-piece and a biscuit to your girl in front of you. And kill it. Well, not only was he beating your ass in front of your girl, But then he damn near kills your girl in front of you. If you have any last words to say to her, you might want to say them now.
You ain't got much time.
Too
left.
late.
Like, God. I mean, it's pure villainy. It's villainy in its purest form, and it's unflinching.
And the thing is, even if you done Mark, you done whooped his little brother, you have killed his girl in front of him. At the point he's like, I want you to get mad because you know that there is nothing you can do about anything I'm doing to you right now. Dude, it's
wild. It's wild. and then he thanked him. That was the other thing that was so wild. He was like, I want to thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I don't know what you did to piss us off, but it's been glorious.
He said, whatever you did must have been bad because normally they tell me, save the infrastructure. There's some kind of like
so many people I can't kill.
Yeah, he was like, but not this time. And I want to thank you. It was the conversational style of the beatdowns, and then it wasn't. And then here's the thing: like, it wasn't just hands for the superheroes. Like he's flying to other, I don't know, countries or cities or whatever it is, blowing up cities. He's flying so fast, like people are getting obliterated. There was a scene that I'll remember it forever when you had called it out when he threw Mark through a building, and he flew through the building to snatch him back up, and it was a quick frame. It happened really quick, and you caught it, and you were like, "Are those bodies falling out of the building?" They didn't show it again until they get back to the ground, and then you see the body splatting. Black, black, black. I was like, this too Conquest, man.
I was like, it seemed like just like 12 minutes ago, we just had the memorial for all the people that died when he fought Nolan. Conquest said, oh, that was nothing. I'm gonna tear this whole planet up. Like,
Yo, and Frank said it best. He was pulling all over apart, describing the process to him like it was a recipe.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this a million times. Like two metrics that we use to kind of like determine if something is going to be good or even possibly goated: story and villain. Story and villain. Yeah. The story in the season finale was okay. It was all right. Bad guy shows up and good guy has to feed him. But the villain was more than enough. More than enough. But to go back for the series as a whole, for the season as a whole, the story was solid too. We had some really good things. They moved some great chess pieces. The stakes are always high. Always. And if these heroes mess up and even the slightest bit, it's a different kind of death. Like, you're not going out in some cool little way. Like, it's ugly and horrendous. I mean, even like when Rex dies, you feel it because this is person that you've grown to appreciate, and you see their growth. So when they get disappeared, you feel it. And even side characters, like even if you might not understand who they are and got to know who their character is, the grisly way that they go out makes it memorable in itself. So they always figure out a way to make every moment something that you can remember, and that's good storytelling. And that's the reason why Invincible, I know when we go through our list, is very high on my GOATED list for those kind of things.
The crazy thing about this particular season, where like you just said, one of the metrics we have always talked about since we started doing reactions together, story and villain. And sometimes it's not a villain per se, it's a problem, an antagonist. But this was a series of villains. Season 1 was really good. Season 2, you had Angstrom, Nolan, good. This season has been phenomenal, only because, like you said, the stakes kept getting raised higher and higher and higher. There was actually even an episode, I don't know, episode 4 or something like that, where it was a down, where it was a little bit more chill. It's almost like so much had happened. It was like we called it out. It was like, okay, well, this was a nice breather. Like finally, you know, it wasn't super stakes, super like we're going hard. Because we started off just off to the races in this, and it just kept getting there. And then it took like one episode where it's like, okay, everything calmed down, and we're back. And
we're back.
Yeah, they never let go. It's like, you know, Mark kept rolling from one super tragedy, devastating, you know, battle right into the next, and the world is the worst for it. Like you don't even have time to recover. You don't, you know. It's just this season. Maybe this season made it hit kind of GOATED status for me. It was already a great, and if you start talking about series, you start talking about series to me, I think I would have mentioned this as one of the great animated series.
Yeah.
But this season, it surpassed just being on the animated shelf and it hit the any kind of series. It did that for me.
Here's something in case you didn't know. So the last episode, which we thought was absolutely mind-blowing in itself, What Have I Done? Episode 7, when you got a chance to fight like the Council of Marks. And at the time that we watched it, at the time when we started it, I had said something to the effect, I don't think I've ever seen a show on IMDb have like a 9.8 or whatever it was. And it was like a couple thousand votes. That episode, episode 7, What Have I Done? Right now is standing at, with over 21,000 votes, 21,000 is sitting at a 9.8 out of 10. I've never seen anything like that until.
And that's episode 7?
That was episode 7 until
episode 8.
Episode 8, with over 26,000 votes, is sitting at a 9.9 out of 10. I've never seen anything like that on IMDb ever. With that amount of votes.
Here's what's crazy. For it to be a 9.9, because it's 9.9. Easily a 10 out of 10 for me. Easy. That's not even a conversation.
Yeah.
Who the hell rated it down where it dropped to a 9.9?
But you know what? With 26,000 people voting, there's going to be somebody that's going to be contrarian, right? There's always going to be somebody that's contrarian. And that's why it's going to be.
I guess. I mean, but you know, you would think if they're contrarian like that, then why are you even on here voting? I didn't like this show. I'm going to go vote on it.
Yeah. And then I think the other metric, like we're talking about some things that, you know, story, and then of course the antagonist / villain, but how does it make you feel? There's an emotional thing that is attached to GOATedness. And I'm not gonna lie, like we were watching this with some people in the chat. I know Frank was with us, me and you was watching it. And the energy that was just in the room with just me and you in there, and me feeding off your energy and you feeding off mine, because we're watching something that's crazy. And it's that moment, like it's different when you're by yourself. It's like when you see something dope and you're like, oh my God, that was fire. But then when you're sitting watching next to somebody and it's validated without you even having to say a thing, you're like, that was some crazy-ish. It does help, you know, raise the stakes, you know, as to why stuff is so good. The emotional, like I will remember watching that season finale with you like forever. It was that good, and to share that kind of moment, and we're both just sitting here like, what are we witnessing right now? There
are certain things that have to happen in live action, in real life, that changes the experience. And I throw out two: one from a GOATED experience, one from a trash experience. But in the theater, I remember being the Star Wars stan that I am. The first few minutes of The Force Awakens came on the screen, and people in the theater lost their damn minds. The energy was so high, it was crazy. Now, of course, they should have waited, because what a disappointment. Like, can we just go back to the opening credits when there was still hope? This was not a new hope. This was a new letdown. Jesus, Mary Joseph. But on the opposite side of that, anybody who went to the theater, I don't care what theater you was in, I don't care where it was, everyone remembers sitting in Avengers Endgame.
Oh.
And so two things happened. When Captain America first picked up Mjolnir and went at the one, the entire
Bedlam.
Entire theater lost. Like we all just picked it up. Like we lost. Not only that, the emotion that was in the theater when you heard Sam say "on your left" and all the portals open up and all the people came back out. I literally looked down the aisle at people, and there was people like crying, like, you know what I'm saying, like they just got news that their grandpa didn't make it or something like what? Yeah, like it was nuts.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't watch that for the first time at home and get that. You know, even if you're sitting in a house full of people that really enjoy this, if they never see it, you can't get that. And that's something, it's amazing that we had that kind of energy too. And we're watching virtually, like we are in two completely separate locations, but still the energy was there. We felt it and we fed off of each other. Yeah. I do want to circle back to what you said about how do you know something is goated? Like at what point? You know, is it story? Is it the villain? Is it the emotional connection that you have to it? And that makes me think of exactly what we talked about last week when we were on here. Because watching Paradise, episode 1 through 7, it was on the fast track with a bullet to hit my GOATED list. And then the season finale happened. You know, and I know that this is a water cooler. Paradise right now, still at this point, is one of the most talked about, you know, outside of Invincible for those people out there. But Paradise is one of the most talked about drama series on TV right now. Yeah. And Sterling K. Brown, Dan Fogelman, all the people behind Paradise, it is heavily talked about still a week after the finale aired. And a lot of people, from what I can tell on the internet, a lot of people did not agree with myself or Centel, didn't agree with us. And they thought that the finale was great. I did not. I had some problems right in the middle or so of episode 7. And then through episode 8. And it changed how I felt about the series, because it would have been goated for me. Like I was like, because I still think that the pilot is one of the best pilots I've seen in a long time. Episode 7, even with the flaws I'm mentioning, was still one of the best penultimate episodes ever.
Big old facts.
And then the finale happened. I was like, what in the hell? And for that, the story was strong. The story stayed strong. Even through the end. My emotional connection to the characters, to the property itself was high, but then they pissed me off to a point where it waned in how I felt about it. Like it absolutely, my emotional connection to it absolutely affected how I felt about that property. And I think maybe that's the big thing. We could talk, like I have 4 kids. 17, my daughter will be 16 later this year. I got a 13-year-old, I got a 9-year-old. I could sit down with my kids and show them stuff that was classic to me. I sit down and show my kids The Goonies. The Goonies is one of those properties, like I remember that meant something to me because I had an emotional connection to it at the time. I was at the right age when The Goonies came along. I was another member of the Goonies crew sitting in my little chair watching in the theaters or whatever. I was like, damn, why didn't me and my little partners do that? You know, we go play ball, we go play in the creek. We ain't doing shit like that. That's what we need to be doing. And I felt that. I show that to my kids today, and they're like, yeah, it was good, it was cool. And I'm like, y'all don't know, it was this a masterpiece. And they're like, nah, it was, it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, we done doing this, Dad. I'm gonna go play PlayStation. Go play. Can't stand y'all.
I had a moment, right? So one of my favorite cartoons at the time for a long time, helped throw for a minute, was Transformers the movie. And I remember being a little kid seeing it in the theater. And when Optimus Prime died, I had a moment, as a child. It's like, damn, Optimus my hero since forever. He turned gray, had that little shake, and was a rap. And I was like, I know they didn't just kill Optimus Prime, right?
Yeah.
Like, it really stuck.
As a kid, that was the epitome on the screen of, I know you effing lying. I know you lying.
Right.
They didn't kill Optimus. No, they didn't.
Bro, they killed Perceptor. They killed Ironhide. They killed Cliffjumper. There was a whole bunch of folks. Even in the beginning when Megatron came in, just blasting, he was just laying Autobots down. And now keep in mind, as a child, I didn't know that, they let the Japanese animation team do it. Anybody can get it over there. I'm used to the American style where it's like, we're selling cereal after this. And then you see like all your favorite characters get like blown to smithereens. Like it kind of scarred me a little bit as a kid watching this, right? Yeah. So I lived in that space of nostalgia, right? So when my son finally gets old enough, this is like a few years ago, and I was like, oh, you want to see a good movie? I'll show you a good movie. I'll put in Transformers in the movie. We barely got halfway through. He's like, Dad, I'm bored. Can I please go someplace else? Because he's seeing so many other things. Like none of that moved him whatsoever. He's seeing crazier stuff, right? He's like, I want this. He's looking at me like, this is your king? This is your king. I was so insulted. I was like, how dare you disrespect Transformers like this?
How dare you? How dare you, son?
But that goes into a bit of the conversation where we were talking about a little bit off screen. Sometimes timing plays a very big part as to why things are goated in our minds.
Yeah, like the age that you are, where you are in your life, where you are in your mental space is how you can accept things into your thing, and it will help determine what it means to you. And that's why we can go down the list of greatest movies, greatest series of all time, and it's going to be widely varied depending on, like, I don't watch horror. You do. There may be many that you have on lists that are horror, that are some amongst the greatest ones. And I'd be like, I'm gonna have to take your word for it. I don't know, because I don't watch that shit. Like, Here, real quickly before we bring in, because I hate the our tried and true Sherelle and Frank. I just love them to death. They show up for us every week. They're patiently waiting on the list because I'm doing this. When I edit this for YouTube, I'm going to throw out a list with very little to no context, and then cut it off. If you want to see the discussion about the list and the rest of this discussion we have, you're going to have to come to my Patreon. It is what it is. That's where we are with it these days. Yeah. All right. So I thought about the things that come to the top of my mind. If I'm thinking, and I just thought series, I didn't think movies, I thought series. Okay. TV shows that pop to the top of my list. I have 7. 2 of them are animated, because I know that none of them animated. To me, they can be easily in my top 5, but I got 2 animated, 5 series. Okay. All right. 1, I did know it's a more recent, within the last year, entry to my top 5 of all time. Okay. It is one of the reasons why I am here, Doctor Who. Doctor Who is on the GOATED series for me. Doctor Who, like, I can't believe that I lived this long and didn't know anything about it. Like, this is some deep television. Like, I mean, it's campy, it's fun, but there is a lot of thought-provoking, stuff that goes into it, as you've witnessed, if you see any of my media therapy deep dives. the one that almost always comes up in conversation for us anyway, I think for Black people, The Wire.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Come on now.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah. That's the layup. That's the layup for us.
Now here's 3 other recent within the past few years that might be a little unconventional. So Ted Lasso.
Oh, that's on a list. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Another one that I found before Ted Lasso, but it got me. Schitt's Creek.
Ooh.
And another one that we've talked about that was a huge boon for you, and I don't even know who told me about this. Extraordinary Attorney Woo. To me, those are 5 of the best series I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And then my 2 animated that go in there is the original Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
And
I'm with you.
And Arcane.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. See, I had just written my list, but I didn't put it out in sections. So you got me moving some of my stuff around as we speak. So let me give me 1 second. I'll tell you my live action right now. For now, it's The Wire is always gonna be number 1 for me, just because context and place go a very long time and carry a lot of weight. A new one that I did not expect to make was Shogun. I really enjoyed Shogun. I wasn't expecting. It's only a one-off. I think there should be a rule that it should be more than 1 season. So I'll put like a bit of an asterisk towards it, but I loved Shogun from front to back. I've got a lot of stuff on my list that have really good that are really good regarding seasons to seasons, but then they maybe have like a season that falls off and then kind of comes back. And one of those that didn't make my top 5, but is extraordinary is Game of Thrones. The first like 5-6 seasons are incredible, but that last season is so bad that it kind of almost knocks it off the top 5.
It's like paradise.
Yeah. Another one for me is Atlanta. From beginning to end, nonstop. It's all gas, no breaks. There are no bad seasons. There are no bad episodes, and it really makes you think. A new one that kind of got added is Succession. I know a lot of folks. It's very questionable for some. It's not on everybody's list, but for me, there's no bad episodes. Yet again, from season 1 until it's done, it's just solid. And then of course, another big obvious one that's on everybody's list. Front to back, all gas, no breaks, no bad seasons. Breaking Bad, it's solid. And the only reason why I did think Doctor Who, but the only reason why I didn't put it on my list is that it's still a work in progress. That's the only reason. I got to see what else is going to be added. But Who is certainly up there because of the experience. That goes into the experience of watching it with you. Watching it more so with the community, the things that and the love that comes along with it. It has made that experience priceless, and that's why it's standing by on my GOATED list. I gotta work on my animated one for the moment. Oh, I just saw something.
All right, so hold on. So okay, what I want to do is I do want to go ahead and bring in, because they've been waiting patiently.
Oh yeah.
So I want to bring in Sherelle. Hey, Sherelle. Hey, Frank.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on with y'all? Oh, okay.
Now, now we were in the middle of it, but I do want to mention this. I do want to say this, and I cannot say thank you enough. I don't have the sound effects, but Yes,
absolutely.
Just want to show some love. Diddy. Listen, I love it. Yes. For those that are not aware, yes, not only is Super Chat, it's always been available on Centel Channel, but your boy Rakai recently made the ranks to get my own little Super Chats and stuff going on. So
No, you know we're gonna give you some of that applause too. Yo, that's a really big deal, man. It's a very, very big deal in these content creator streets in order to hit that milestone, brother. I am so incredibly proud of you. It's for those that know, it's a hard road to hoe. That's an old
But
folks.
here, let me say this real quick too. And I'm keep this extremely short. 2 weeks from today, March 28th, is my actual 1 year anniversary doing this on the platform.
Just applauding this bad boy.
So the live that we do in 2 weeks is gonna be something. We're gonna talk about this because I think the one thing that I've learned from Centel and learned about doing this is consistency is the name of the game, and this is not easy to do whatsoever. And this, this is also not the only thing I do. Like, I work an actual job. Now, I don't know if you talk to people that I work with or work for, they'd be like, do you though? So. But I work an actual job, but doing this is a labor of love, and extremely high on the love, extremely high on the labor. So, but we're going to talk about it in 2 weeks. So everyone who's here, please make it back in 2 weeks. That's going to be a special live that day.
Yeah, we got to celebrate you, brother.
So, okay.
Is that, you're right. I'm fighting too.
All right, again. All right. Thank y'all, everyone. And hopefully I'll see you guys later on today. And if not, please keep watching the stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank y'all.
Rakai's monetized.